It's very difficult to get used to.
So apart from MC, you must have nothing also. Apart from being in MC.
I have Eyes, which is a sleep. Yes.
Okay.
Which is a sleepwear line.
What?
Can I let sleepwear? Sleepwear. Yeah. So manufactured locally. Yeah. So.
So how is the product doing?
Very well. We are struggling to meet capacity. That's another thing. So we need to scale. I need a lot of operation. Good morning, and thank you so much for joining us. So, as I believe we all know, COVID-19 protocols require that we should always keep our masks on. As you can see, my guest has his mic on. But over and above that, sanitize frequently, wash our hands, and social distancing. We could be closer, than we are right now. But I believe we're sticking to all of that. But due to the fact that we're going to be having a conversation this morning, we'll prefer to keep them off for the duration of this interview, just so we engage better and you also, can hear us better, so we're more audible. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. My name is Khana, and I'd like to welcome you to the Pusha BW live sessions that come to you every second and last Thursday of the month. Now, first of all, even before we go into the interview, let me just let you know what Pusha BW is all about. So Pusha BW is basically an initiative that encourages us to consume everything local. That is initiatives, services, as well as products. I'm basically talking about us consuming our local food, our local clothing, our local content, you name it, our tourism. Tota hela ka riwang ka teng ibile ke rata ka ha Joanna ibile ka teng maloba hale a re ja Botswana apara Botswana etela Botswana mo godimo ga mo a re buele sone Setswana sa rona re ipele ka sone. Bagaetsho, once again, welcome to the Pusha BW live session. And this morning I'm hosting a very inspirational young man, a brilliant young man who's only 27. He's basically a young man who's very passionate about female reproductive health, a subject that I'm equally as passionate about. And he went the extra mile to found, he's actually the founder of the Muja Foundation, and over and above that, he also has a company called Uclear CRISPR that actually manufactures pads called Iron Lady. So we're just about to go into this conversation with him, and let me just welcome him. Thank you very much for joining us. So, you know what, even before we go into this, I'm very fascinated by how you got to be passionate about female reproductive health. Like, a lot of men shy away from talking about, that time of the month. That's why we call it that time of the month. It's a pirinyana, sorry, you know what I mean? So how did you get into this?
Okay, first of all, thank you for inviting me here. I started this project by having a charity organization called Moja Foundation, which was based on empowering women, and whether it's education, finding the volunteering opportunities for them, because women, I think in Botswana, they are more disadvantaged. Yeah. So I found this company, but at first I wanted to do this project in a charity way, whereby I manufacture pads for free for women. But due to lack of funds, I end up transforming it into business, whereby I'm a social entrepreneur.
100%.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. But also just talking about, your passion for women, like, why did you set up a company that empowers the girl child versus the boy child? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, is there any particular reason why you felt, drawn, to the girl child?
Yeah, like I've mentioned before, I had an experience whereby during my junior school, there was a girl who messed the hairdress. Then we were making fun of them. I was part of the team who were laughing at her, calling her names until she left school. And this thing grew up on me, and I always see her out of school. And knowing that I was part of it, and I know I had to do something to help women who are facing the same problem.
So that is when it was ignited.
Yes,
Hela.
yeah.
O bona ene o bua kgang e le nnete tota gore gantsi kore ga re bua ka a young girl who possibly has heavy periods or doesn't even have access to pads.
Yeah.
We find that a lot of young women use things like cloths and toilet paper.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And ga hela ntse le accident e ntse nyalo isteinetse mo sekolong go a tshegiwa. So that is exactly where you say your passion was ignited. All right. So then you founded Youclear CRISPR. Youclear CRISPR. We go too far. So, what is Youclear CRISPR and what exactly does your company do?
Youclear CRISPR, the name I got it from, it's a plant. A plant that has different foods. Different foods they bear into one plant. Yeah. So it's a big company that has different projects. I manufacture PPEs, sanitary pads. We also set up a factory in Francistown. We are manufacturing A4 papers for printing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
All right, great stuff. Now, you mentioned earlier that you initially set up your company as the Moje Foundation.
Yes,
Before
yeah.
then,
Yeah.
you set up Youclear CRISPR
Yeah.
because you were experiencing certain challenges with raising funds for this.
Yeah.
So can you just quickly get us into some of those challenges that you met along the way? Because, as you mentioned, initially the plan was to create free sanitary pads for the girl child.
Yeah. First of all, the challenges get on about lack of funds. The main challenge, I think it goes across all sectors. Especially if you have a burning desire to see your project succeed. So I end up running around looking for funds, writing proposals. I was rejected many times until I set up a company, Youclear CRISPR. I approached Leia, I approached CEDA, I approached banks, but I was rejected. But lastly, CEDA managed to fund me to set up a factory in Piqui. Yeah.
All right. And when was that?
Last year.
Okay.
Yeah. But the project, if I managed to raise funds, the project could have started in 2016. So you can see what yeah.
And I think it's important to highlight that because gantsi banana ba eng gore ba ka tswa ba eletsa gore ba ka ba ka simolla dikgwebo ka go harolagana ga tsone mo botsana go ntlhela gore kgwetlho engwe ke gone gore motho a re go tsa ka madi a ba inela hela re wa iha go sena yaanong gantsi batho ba tshwana le wena ba eng gore ana re bona o se o itiretse go botlhoka gore re itse gore gone o gorogile jang ko o thutse mabati a le kae gore o hello khonne ka gore ke tsa gore ke gona ha ene gore ngwana a motsana le ene o khona gore a re nyamme le nna ke ka khona re tla re pushe BW so where are these pads available?
Right now the pads are available at our office. We are still negotiating with the shops, the local stores. Re dumalane ka di price, then we get the pads into the shelves.
All right. Now, I'm going to get into this because the fact that you're manufacturing pads means you should be able to answer. I'm imagining a young girl right out there or a lady is saying, but what could he possibly know about pads? You know what I mean? So do you work closely with women? Like, there are people who are sensitive to scented pads. There are people who are sensitive to chemicals used, when making these. So were you aware of all of these? So when
I started this project, I was doing a research. I met a lot of women, asking them questions, even if most of them they were not that close, willing to open up about their experience in everything. But I managed to get a team of women. I think they are 30 now, 30, whereby they share their experience and how I can improve the product, and that's really helped me. Yes.
Ga re bua ka babereki gone o stona le babereki ba le kae ba leng gore ke tsa gore ba tshwaraganetse namane ene le wene?
Right now, because we have a factory in South Africa, and we are setting up in Piqui.
In Piqui, as you mentioned, yeah.
So in South Africa, we have like 35. In Botswana now, because it's not a full production, we have 10.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Great stuff. Ladies like tampons as well. You know, do you have an expansion plan now over time? Little cater le ba body tampon ba le gore bone, you know, normally they don't struggle with heavy flows. So is that something that's in the pipeline?
Yeah. A lot of women are asking me, where are the tampons? Where are the tampons? But looking at the market, I think 0.1 population are using tampons.
Yeah.
So to manufacture tampons is so expensive, especially the machine and the raw material, because the machine costs about 8 million. For the centered pads, the machine go for 5 million.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
All right.
So to manufacture pads is so cheaper than manufacturing tampons.
Also,
Yes. But I'm working with the other company in China. They are manufacturing tampons. So I will be doing packaging in Botswana. Yeah, I will be, yeah.
What I also appreciate is that, you know, I think before we get ahead of ourselves and, you know, think of tampons and whatever else that exists, like dipeti liner, what you're trying to meet is a basic need.
Yeah, the basic needs.
Pad to begin with, you know what I mean? Which is something that I believe, you know, is certainly something that we applaud you for.
Yeah. So like I mentioned, a social entrepreneur is more driven of passion over profit. Yeah. So my mission is to make pets available and affordable. So that's my passion for it.
Okay.
Yes.
Why Iron Lady? These are called Iron Lady. So why did you feel the need to call them Iron Lady?
Okay. The name Iron Lady, I got it from a book for it was named after the first minister, the prime minister in England. So it's simply a woman that dominates in a man's world. Yeah.
And that is what we are.
Yeah.
All right. So let's also just quickly touch on what else your company does, because earlier you mentioned that, you know, you supply PPE as well as paper. I remember seeing in the media, you know, especially during lockdown, company provide a PPE. So can you please just get us into that as well?
Yeah, the project that the PPE is similar to during lockdown, because when you're in business, you start to see other opportunities, and I'm a creative person, and I have learned to manufacture PPEs when I was in China. So when COVID-19 break up, then I said that this is the opportunity for me to manufacture the PPEs.
Okay.
Yeah.
And where are they available currently?
Yeah, they are available in our office along all over the road.
Okay.
Yes.
We'll get all those details towards the end of our interview here, just so that we understand. Anybody who would like Uclear CRISPR products, you know, generally Batswana buying your product, because there are so many other pad options out there, but you know what we're trying to encourage is for people to buy Iron Lady products. So how have you found that?
Yeah, but Botswana are supporting me. Even the government is trying its best for me to meet the international standards. They are trying to acquire the international standards at POPs. So Botswana are really supporting me.
Okay. Yes. You know what? I know this is a bit unconventional, and I know that people who are going to be a bit uncomfortable with me doing this, but I think how about we reboot? Yeah, we just check it out and see what it looks like, because you know, you know, it's comfortable, it's smooth, it feels great on the skin, and it looks like that's exactly what we're dealing with. I don't know whether you can see this, but It looks really cute.
Yeah.
It looks really, really cute. So yeah, it's got wings, you know,
Yeah.
because ho kana re bua
For
ka
extra security, yeah.
Thank you very
Yeah.
much. Thank you very much.
So even the sticky part, we have increased the sticking part.
Okay.
Because most women are complaining about it being shifting and all stuff.
Okay, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
those are some of the challenges
Yeah.
that women experience, you know, with, which is why I was saying, you know, somebody out there may be wondering, but what does he know about our experience, you know, with our periods monthly? But I can see you've crossed all the T's and dotted
Yeah.
all the I's. It really looks fantastic. It's nice. And extra thin.
The ultra thin.
Ultra thin.
Yeah, they're
I don't
ultra
even know what when I'm going to eat. But yeah, no, this is really amazing. And what would you say have been some of your milestones since inception? Really, what are some of those things that you feel, you know, are worth bragging about? Like what we talking. Go ke simolotse ka teng go fitlhela mo tsela go mpeko ke ka re ke se ke kgona go dira sele se ke kgona go tshwara market halele hale jalo jalo.
The market of the pets is doing well. I'm really doing well. I can't complain. Even the international investors have started contacting me. Even some other countries want me to establish in their countries. So I'm going abroad. Yeah, I'm going abroad.
And what's your relationship with Rwanda?
Like I've mentioned, if you are a social entrepreneur, you work closely with non-profit organizations. So there's a campaign in Rwanda, it's called Free the Pet, whereby students are given free central pets. So I donated some of my pets to Rwanda. So that's where they got impressed. Oh, even these are made in Africa.
Africa, yeah.
Because most of the pets are made in China or Europe. So they were so surprised, like, you have this product in Africa, because they've been buying a lot in bulk in China. So they are willing to have the product. So me and BITC, we are still engaging with the investors, whether we provide a ready-made product to Rwanda, or we set up in Rwanda.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
I almost gave you 5 and I remembered. So I should give you a shoulder, an elbow actually. But yeah, no, I think that is something certainly that should be commended as well. And what kind of support would you say, you know, you would like to get from Botswana in general?
No, Botswana should buy pets. Yeah, should buy Iron Lady pets. They will be available in local stores, I think, in 2 months. Yeah, in 2 months. Yeah.
So here. Have you interacted with people who've used the pads, and what has the feedback been like?
Yeah, I've interacted with them. If, we are making improvements every time we get feedback from the people. Like I've mentioned, they were complaining about the sticking part, so we managed to improve the sticking part. So that's the only complaint that we had from the previous users.
Okay.
Yeah.
Otherwise, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I feel I would have done you an injustice if we don't just get into your story a bit, because, you know, I think what I love about you is your story is a story of perseverance.
Yes.
Somebody who started small and grew his way, you know, to where you are. Somebody with a dream and, you know, didn't stop at anything to achieve your dream. I understand you started off working
At the Bright Place.
at the Bright Place,
Yes,
Wapa.
yeah.
Please just get us into your
Yeah.
story and just how, you know, you grew from that.
Okay, when I finished Form 5 in 2011, I worked at the Bright Place as a chef. Then after 3 months, I was promoted to be a motorbike rider.
Who deliver?
Ke deliver. Then in 2012, I joined BDF. Yes. Then last year, I resigned to focus on the projects.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you've literally been a cook, and, you know, you've driven a motorbike, and
Yeah.
you've been in the army, and now you are, you know, busy with Iron Lady.
Yes, yeah.
That's quite an inspirational story. Let's talk about your family. You know, do you have a supportive family? How, especially speaking of, you know, a man who has a vision and a dream, you know, to provide free sanitary pads to the girl child,
Yeah.
you know, to, you know, less privileged kids. How has your family supported you through that?
Yeah, but my family is supporting me because they always believed in me. I'm a hard worker. I I have that. I have self-confidence. That's so important. I have self-confidence. I believe in me. So that's why they believe in me.
Do you have sisters?
No, it's only brothers.
Okay, you only have brothers.
Yeah, we are 4 in my family.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you use other BW products? Because I think that's another thing that would be important. You know what I mean?
Yes.
We can't be sitting and hoping for support when
Yeah.
we're not. So, are you also somebody who supports BW?
Yeah, most
Or
of
push and BW?
yeah, most of my products that I use at home, I bought them from local producers, like the furnitures, a lot of them. Yeah, the mask, a lot of them. Yeah.
Yeah, me, that is really fantastic. So now going back to the pads, what would you say sets your pads apart from the rest?
Yeah. My pads are an innovated product. It's an innovated. It has an absorbency core. It's called an SAP, which turns the liquid into gel, so that the fluid doesn't retract back into the skin, which causes irritation, rashes, and allergies. Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to having, more of your pads, not even more of your pads, but your pads available in our local stores,
Yes,
because like you mentioned, you're hoping that within the next 2 months there will be.
Yeah.
And also, I think it's also important to figure out pricing, because I think one of the things that you mentioned when setting up was that you wanted, affordable and accessible pads.
Yes, yeah.
Have you got an idea of, pricing as far as how, these pads will be priced once they go into the market?
Yeah. So far, we are coming to a point whereby we have to agree with the owners of the stores, because we want our pets to be affordable. So I think they are going to go by 9 pula.
Around
10
pula.
10 pula, I think,
Yeah, which would really be reasonable, because but when you think about it, normally these go for anything from between 15 to about even 24.
Yes, yeah.
For the other brands that we have, we get from beyond our borders. So this is really exciting. And if you have any questions, please feel free to engage with us. I haven't even checked, who has joined us on our live broadcast. So let me just go there and allow you, if you have any questions for our guest this morning, Uzile Muje, founder and manufacturer of sanitary pads through his company, Uclear Crisper. Please feel free to send through your questions right now on our Facebook page, which is the Brand Botswana Facebook page, which I'm hoping you've joined us on, and ask. This is interactive, and I've got my phone here, so if you have any questions to ask our guest this morning, please feel free to join in. So for anybody who would like to go into this industry as well, because I think that's another thing. Right now, somebody is inspired and they're thinking this has been a dream that I thought was very far-fetched. What advice would you give them? What is it that they would need to do what you were doing? Like
I've mentioned, business is not a sprint; it's a marathon. There is a lot of challenges. What you need is perseverance. Yeah, I think that's most important thing that you need into business.
With anything really, and not necessarily with just pads.
Yes, it works across all industries. Whether you are doing manufacturing, whether selling, anything you want to do, you need perseverance.
And also now, with regards, you mentioned that there's a certain organization or organizations, beyond here that you've supported by donating pads to. Do you do the same, here in Botswana?
Yeah, we are donating 10,000 pads in Botswana. So we have already donated in Molifi, Atishia, and in Malapabojang. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So we are still going to go to Maung, Francistown, and Khanzi.
And is this to schools or to...
Yeah, to schools.
Okay.
Because our idea is for the central pads to be available for school girls.
Okay. Yeah. Very interesting. We have Shadi Daman, who's watching from Janeng. We have Fifi watching from UK. Galabra, who says, great stuff. Your story is certainly, an inspiration. They say, this is Dido Magdi. Are little Wanaki yo Pusha BW. Well done, Wanamuhai. Thank you very much for that comment. How difficult or easy was it to acquire material equipment? This is from Mutusi. And yes, so let's start there, because he's got a 2-part question.
Yes.
So how easy was it to acquire material equipment?
Like I've said, at first, I visited some factories in China. So I had all the knowledge before I acquired the funds. So my project was well budgeted. Yes.
So the equipment, like the actual substance that you use to create, where do you acquire that
in
from?
China.
In China.
Yes, in
okay. And the second part of his question is, how easy is it, or what help did you get to set up the manufacturing? I think you mentioned that you were funded by SIDA, but
Yes,
you can go ahead and indulge him. Yes,
Like, setting up. It's not easy. It's not easy because it doesn't only needs funds, but emotionally, like you need to be there full time. Something's not working according to your plan. So I believe in action plan more than business plan.
Okay, we have Kitumetsu Kwapa here who says, I don't have a question, I just want to brag. That's my little brother right there. Please tell him hi. And we are from the same hood. He's a fantastic person, a bigger bro. So yeah, that's a message from Kitumetsu. And yes, so connecting with Rwanda is the best move, Mr. Muja, way to go. We need those strategic partnerships to access bigger markets. This is a message from Haulim Minyana. So well done. I think generally, Botswana, really happy to have you here. Thumbs up. Pusha BW, this is a message from Chris. But yes, so as far as your vision, going forward, which other markets ideally would you like to see yourself accessing?
Currently, we are negotiating with Clara Foundation, which is founded by Rihanna.
Riri.
Riri. So I think after this lockdown, I might fly to USA to meet them personally and discuss more about the project. So
the way you're just flying from one place to another, Yeah. Okay. No, great stuff. Okay. Yeah. Please feel free to ask questions, as already mentioned, if you have any, for our guest this morning, Utsile Muja, who's founder of Uclear CRISPR sanitary pads manufacturing plant, and they actually manufacture these Iron Lady pads that we have right here. So please feel free to ask any questions if you have any this morning for our guests. And yeah, tell him I said hi and congratulations. There's a message from Fifi Chloe. Thank you so much, guys, for interacting, and please feel free to keep them rolling. And yes, I think going forth also, just beyond, because you mentioned that, what your company does, Uclear CRISPR is a flower that has a lot of fruits.
Yes.
So you've already mentioned that you're manufacturing paper. Your paper is currently available from your office, you said,
office,
as well as the fact that, you've got PPE and the pads. Any other projects that are in the pipeline? But a lot of projects are going to come out because COVID-19 has exposed that we need to be self-reliant. So a lot of products are going to come out from this company. Absolutely. But in just wrapping up our interview, Utsile, is there anything that you'd like to share, with the viewers out there as far as just encouraging them, what you've done is really fantastic. And I believe a lot of young people are inspired, encouraging them to go for their dreams, supposing they have, dreams that currently they feel a bit discouraged with everything that's been going on. People are complaining about the economy having slowed down post-COVID. So what would be your words of encouragement to our viewers this morning?
Yeah, I would love to say, if you have a dream and you need to go for it, this world holds nothing to fear of. You need to go and expose yourself. Be ready to face all the challenges, and these challenges should energize you. They should not be an obstacle to you. They should energize you, and we can achieve anything we want if we have the nerve to pursue our dreams.
And knocking on those doors, because I think that's another thing, the fear of asking for help is something that we see a lot of young people, battling with. But it seems like you haven't struggled with that. Like it's something that, if at all you had the fear, you managed to push through it and knock on those doors. You spoke about, Leah, Seda, Anyways, thank you very much. I really appreciate you having spent, the last 30 minutes with us this morning, just sharing your vision, sharing, everything that it is that you've managed to do. And once again, I think it would really be important for us to let us know where people can get your products. You know what I mean? Because you mentioned your plant isn't ready in Silibi Pikwe yet. So in the meantime, where can people access your products? Where do they get hold of you?
So they can get our product at our office at Finance Park, Plot 128, Unit 15. So they can call me on 74621743.
Please repeat the number once again.
74621743.
And do you have social media pages for people to
Iron Lady page. It's called
just
Iron Lady.
Just Iron Lady
Yes,
on Facebook.
Yeah, on Facebook.
All right. So Iron Lady on Facebook, or you can just visit the offices if you'd like to purchase these. If you'd like to experience our very own locally manufactured pads. Wow, ke ngwana Motswana re pusha BW a re diriseng tsa rona jaaka ke go tlhaloseditse ke tsa gore ka ntshepa ga ke go bolela ke mme le gone mme o ile gore ke tlhaloganya gore ga go te heavy periods dio tse tse go teiwa jang jaanong ga ke gore ke re di a khatlisa ebile ga ke bone gona le sepe se leng gore nka re ke se bone mo di pads tse dingwe se leng gore ga ke se bone mo Iron Lady ka kwano a re diriseng Iron Lady mme ebile re sa helehela mo go Iron Lady. Let's consume our products. A re pusheng BW a re ageng economy ya rona a re itlhameleng ditiro a re jeng Botswana ra apare Botswana re tsamaye mo lehatsheng la rona la Botswana. Let's use our very own local products. Pusha BW Bagaito, and this was the second session post-COVID. We had Joey last weekend, actually last 2 Thursdays ago. 2 Thursdays from now, you can catch my girl Kathy, who's going to be hosting the next live session right here on the Pusha BW live sessions. Pusha BW Bagaito. Thank you very much for having joined us today, and I'd like to thank you once again. Keep up the great work. Your story is such an inspiration, and please make sure you get hold of him so that you can use the Iron Lady pads. From me, your girl G, it's a wrap. Catch us next time. Bye bye.